So my parents bought a Keurig coffee maker, and that's the one where you get like the little cups, the little K cups, I think they call it.
Yep.
And then you get like single cup brewing with it. And they got me like a sweet tea kind.
Ooh.
And Arnold Palmer style, and then my mom got some hot chocolate and some coffee. And then I probably didn't come up with this, but I'm going to just go ahead and say I did. The most genius thing ever. So, they make like sweet tea vodka, and all you have to do is put your sweet tea vodka in the water reservoir, and then they make a lemonade one. You put the lemonade cup in, and then you just make alcoholic Arnold Palmers. Ooh. By heating up the vodka and running it through the lemonade. And then I was thinking, what else could you do? You could do peppermint schnapps and coffee, peppermint schnapps and hot chocolate. You could do maybe just a sweet tea vodka with a sweet tea mixture. You could do, I don't know if I was trying to figure out, you'd think they'd make like some fruit juice kind or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you could just do like gin or something like that and mix it with them. So use your Keurig to your alcoholic potential
advantage.
Oh God.
and make single batches of Arnold Palmer vodka.
Well,
wait, so go into detail on this. How do you make Arnold Palmer?
Like it's just
Arnold
like
Palmer?
Sweet tea vodka. They make sweet tea vodka and then you just mix it with lemonade.
Oh, I see. The sweet tea vodka.
Yeah.
And then you run it through your Keurig.
But then to make it even easier and to make just a single batch, you just use the sweet tea vodka, and it would make it boozy as hell. Run the sweet tea vodka in your water reservoir as opposed to water.
Yeah.
Through the lemonade into your cup. Because what it does is like there's like you have where your cup goes, and then above that is where you put it's just a tiny little like kind of McDonald's ketchup cup sized cup, and that's the drink that you want to make.
Right.
And you put that up there, and you slap it down, and then you have your water reservoir on the right-hand side, and that would be normally where you put water in. And the first time you start it up, it heats, it takes in the water you need, and it heats it up beneath the thing. And then it punches a hole in the cup, and then runs the hot water, like, really quickly through the cup, so it, like, because it's kind of just, like, powdered whatever.
Yeah.
So then it picks up all of that. It's essentially like a coffee maker, basically. Like how a coffee maker works, just on a 1 cup scale.
Yeah.
So you would just put your vodka on the side, it would heat it up, run it through the lemonade, and then mix it as it was pouring into your cup.
Like,
you just put it on ice.
Like liquid lemonade or like powdered?
No,
lemonade?
it's like the little powdered cup.
Oh, okay. So you get powdered lemonade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can make like a single batch of lemonade in your Keurig.
Ooh.
Because you can make like ice beverages. All you have to do is put the ice in your cup and then make it, and then the ice just chills it.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm immediately thinking also of like hot apple cider. And with like,
I bet they have a cider with
like,
some Captain.
Yeah, with some Captain, and you run it through like, I don't know, like cinnamon or something.
Well, like the problem is like the cup is like what you're going to be drinking,
right?
Like so you'd have to have like the cider one.
The cider cup.
You could put like, okay, you could do this though. You could put like half a cinnamon stick or like a quarter of a cinnamon stick in your glass, and then run it into the glass, like the Captain coming through the water reservoir, shooting through the cider cup, the little it's like concentrated powdered cider.
Yeah.
Shooting through that into your cup with the cinnamon stick in it, and maybe you mix it up or something.
Do you want to know what sounds like an even better idea?
What?
Just drink the vodka.
Well, that's not fun.
I was basically thinking of like, could I use this like in a cheap manner to make like hot apple pie, basically?
Really, you could. Yeah, you could.
Instead of like having.
I think we need to bring my Uncle Ken onto this podcast because he makes amazing
the best cherry pie ever.
Like he makes apple pie and cherry pie, and if Krista's listening, she got to try some of the apple pie the other night. And
Props
she was
to
just
Uncle
like,
Ken. It is so
you are
good.
bringing that to my 21st. Ooh. So yeah.
That stuff is dangerous.
It is, because you drink it and you're just like, oh man, this is so good. I'm dead.
Yeah. Take me to the hospital.
Actually, Eric, Hollenbeck made a bunch of it and took it down to the Lions game.
Oh, man, that'd be so good. That sounds so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're just sitting here drinking beer.
I'm drinking cider.
Hey, yeah, you're getting there.
I got some Northern Natural.
What if we got like the fruitiest cider you could get and then make hot apple pie with the cider? Like hard cider.
Oh, hard cider from the get-go?
Yeah, like what he's drinking right now.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good. What is that?
So would it just be... Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I did want to try this.
Why don't you just drink apple wine?
Beer of the week.
Really?
No.
This is Northern Natural Cherry Apple Hard Cider.
I got it when I was up in Traverse City.
Excellent. Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, make this instead of regular cider in your hot apple cider. That would just give it even more booze.
That would be pretty dope.
Pretty dope. Welcome to TechBuzzed, your raw and slightly inebriated look into the world of technology. I'm Nick Smock.
I'm Ryan Spletzer.
I'm Lucas Ritter.
We've got a special week this week. This is kind of our last TechBuzz of the year.
Our last like real normal.
Our last like normal show for the year. We'll talk about after hours later.
We'll talk about it in after hours later.
And we'll talk about it later in the show. But this week, we don't have a whole lot of news, just a few topics that we want to touch on because our beer of the year is here. Wow,
yes.
Listen to that rhyme.
Yeah.
Our beer of the year from all 7 episodes. Or 6, actually.
Yeah. So we're going to do our beer of the year, and then we're going to hit you guys with some after hours. So let's get things kicked off. Facebook for Android goes native.
Mm-hmm. So I forgot when this happened. The story was on December 13th, so I guess this was like this past Tuesday. Facebook released an update for its platform, and I kind of just got it in the fray of a bunch of different updates for my phone. Is it just me, or has there been just like a crazy ton of updates for apps lately?
It is not just you.
I feel like there's just been a nonstop deluge. Yep. Every time I pick up my phone, it's like literally 5 or 6 new things.
And it's kind of a pain because since my limited data plan, I have to be on Wi-Fi to use it to update. So
basically, I saw this Facebook update with 10 other Google app updates that came with it. So it kind of snuck in by me, and I got it on my phone. And I kind of opened it up, and I realized Facebook, they actually made this way better. I wonder what they did to make it this smooth and nice. And turns out a few days later I realized it's actually went full native. So there's finally a fully native which I guess is Java on Android. Fully native Java developed Android Facebook app, which is nice.
And if this makes no sense to you, it's because Facebook's original Android app was essentially just a web page in a shell.
Right.
As
they
an app.
it
was like a bookmark, basically.
Weren't they trying to go full on HTML5?
They wanted to do that strategy, and they did at first, because then that meant they could use the same exact stuff on iOS as they do on Android.
Right.
And there's less.
I got you.
There's less of a code base to keep track of.
Yeah.
Basically, but they realized that at a certain point that they couldn't get the same kind of performance with HTML5 and JavaScript as you can with the native app. So, and I think it's kind of a trend. You've seen a lot of these companies that are like, HTML5 is great. You write it once and run it anywhere. But then you realize once you actually get on the platform, it doesn't have quite the same amount of I don't know what the word is, just speediness and the smoothness and less buggy basically.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it actually, because it's native, it actually caches more stuff too. So even if you're offline for some reason or can't get service, you can still kind of look through stuff
Right.
that's been.
Oh,
Stuff
okay.
that's been saved
That
in
you
your
had on
cache.
there.
Whereas literally before, every time you would open up the Facebook app before with the HTML5 app, it would have to reload everything.
Oh.
It would do this huge request, HTTP
Yeah.
get request to get all the latest stories again, which is
Which why it was crazy laggy.
Yeah. You're downloading so much data every single time you open it, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's actually this kind of brings me to an off topic of how much Chrome has been ticking me off on my phone. It's really buggy.
It is. It's insanely buggy, but I
Like-
still use it.
I do too. Like it's I don't know what else I'd want to use. I could go back to Dolphin, but
I've been debating on
Yeah.
doing that
But-
because Dolphin has also been updating
Yeah.
their app to be amazingly good.
In particular, what is bugging you?
the one thing
I
that's
get a lot of
bugging me
page
is
crashes.
if I right now I cannot cut a link out of the search bar.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird.
I'll hit the cut little on-screen cut
Yeah.
button and it'll just crash every time.
I just
Really?
get
Yes.
a lot of just random crashes, like just browsing a page and Chrome is just done. I don't want you to use me anymore.
You know,
I don't get those too often, but
I think
yeah.
I haven't had nearly as many problems as other people have been saying, and I think it's because Chrome is really touchy, and unless you're running it on one of the flagship
Yeah.
Android devices, it's not going to work that well. It's because it runs pretty great on my Galaxy Nexus. Yeah, I know an S3. You would think it would.
And I actually
be
just
fine,
got
but
I got the Jelly Bean update.
oh, you did.
Yeah,
The
that's another thing I could talk about.
4.2?
4.1.
4.1. Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
that's nice.
Like
So-
I've just been playing with Google now for the last week.
I guess I have noticed some weird things with it in the past
Yeah.
with Chrome on Android, but I've been able to kind of overlook them because of the feature set and just general ease of being able to. Although I will say it's weird in that it saves all these tabs of places I've been
Yeah.
before, and I'm opening it up just now and I realize I have 12 tabs, some dating back to 2 months ago when I opened them. So it really doesn't get rid of searches or things,
Yeah.
places you've gone to. It kind of just keeps hanging on
Well,
to that.
it's kind of nice though because I've done this before where this is one of my favorite things about Chrome is that since I log in with my Google account on my computer, my phone, and my desktop, it's if I'm looking at something on my laptop, I can just go on my desktop and pull up the other devices tab in the bottom, and it shows that web page I was just on, and it works also with the phone too. You can pull up those pages, which is really nice for some things. It's kind of a pain viewing some of those websites on the phone, but
yeah.
it's still it's just a little convenient thing to have those kind of cross everywhere. And also I think I don't know for sure, but do they carry passwords and whatnot across all the platforms also?
I haven't experienced that. Generally, it's on a client by client.
I'm not 100% sure because there's times when I'll log on to something and be I don't remember saving my password here, but okay.
You know what?
Oh, you mean if
No.
you explicitly tell the browser to save your
Yes.
password for a site?
Yeah.
It does save it
That
based on
might
your
be.
account. It does because I know when I'm at home and I save a password on a site and then I go to school or something and I use Chrome,
Yeah.
it prompts me
Okay.
with that username and password. So it's not device specific, it's account
Okay.
specific.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't do that. I used to be back when I ran Firefox all the time, before Chrome was really
Yeah.
a thing. I would save passwords all the time.
Yeah.
But then I guess I kind of got away from that because I don't know. I didn't really feel too comfortable with browsers having my passwords
Right.
and stuff. And then also they would all just kind of go away too. If I ever had to uninstall a browser or something, I would just lose them all anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing was I didn't want to invest all that time into putting passwords into my browser, thinking if I have to wipe out my computer tomorrow, I'm just gonna lose all these anyways. So
Yeah,
Well,
my
now
big
with,
thing is
now
it's
with
just
Chrome, it saves it
it'll
based
save
on your
them
account,
all.
so.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing. I know that everything now with Chrome, if you save a password, it's not saved locally. It's synced
Yeah.
across devices, and
Mhm.
I mean, I hope that they're using good hashing practices and stuff.
I mean, with Google,
But-
I would assume they would.
Yeah, but it's just a slight
worrisome,
feeling of
right?
Yeah.
uncomfortableness with that whole
understandable.
thing. But anyways,
Let's keep
Yeah.
it in the realm of social networks and talk about Twitter. Twitter is now Has it started yet, or are they in the works still?
It is rolling out to people.
Okay,
and some people are noticing it show up now. I checked it today, and it wasn't there yet.
Twitter is now allowing users to download every tweet you've ever tweeted. So every time that you typed in #YOLO, you can save that.
And it's awesome because when you download it, it saves it as a zip, but that zip is it's structured in such a way that you can open it with a browser, and it opens like a Twitter page.
Whoa.
Like and you can search through your tweets and stuff.
Whoa.
I at least, and it's got all these charts and stuff to show you like by month, like how much you were tweeting each month.
Whoa.
So
That's
it's not just like a dump of stuff. It's like you can really like, it's like local web pages with all your tweets in it that you can go and search through
awesome.
and stuff.
That is really awesome.
Which is more handy because Facebook's had like an export your data feature for quite a while now, but it literally just
it's like ridiculous.
It just
it's
like dumps
information
everything.
dump. Yeah.
Yeah. It just like dumps all your photos and posts and stuff, but it's like, it's not structured
like
in
pages
any way.
And pages.
Yeah.
Like you would have to go through and do some actual work to like
find certain things, right.
or structured in a way that you could crawl through it or something. So it's kind of cool that they're like, not only is it like a dump of your tweets, but it's like the tools to go with it to dive into that stuff and check out what
that
you
is
did.
really
So you
interesting. You get some statistics and things like that.
Yeah. And in general, jumping back to like when you were first on Twitter and reading some of those tweets that it's just kind of funny to
like it's always like the first tweet. Your first tweet is always the weirdest.
I look at my first tweets and I look back to the beginning of my Facebook and I just want to delete it all.
Yeah.
I'm very embarrassed with myself.
No one else goes back there, so.
See, now that's the other feature I wish we had. I wish we could jump back to the beginning of time and actually delete stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice.
Because now you can download it, but it's still out
on
there.
Facebook you could.
You can jump back to the beginning.
Well, I don't know how easy it is.
It's kind of a pain because now since they have timeline, I guess I could play with it right now, but like I think it lets you jump back to different times.
Oh
or
yeah, you
whatever,
can jump
and,
back to different times.
Like, holy cow! I have something in 2001. Oh, that's just a picture that I got tagged in, but like, you can jump around to when you began and all your different times. And I wonder if I can actually.
It actually does pull
Holy
up stuff
God.
pretty quickly. 'Cause
Yeah,
I just
it does.
click back to 2010, and here's all my stuff from 2010. So that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, and you can remove stuff.
yeah,
It's really great that Facebook just knows nothing about me. Apparently, when I was 10 years old, I stopped going to Grand Valley.
really.
Yeah.
You got tagged in something from 2001? You had a Facebook when you were 11?
No, it's a photo from way before.
I have one from 2007. That's the earliest post.
And see, that's the other funny thing. Now people can retroactively post stuff at dates. You know.
Really?
Oh yeah. So you could go back and post a picture. Like
yeah.
You could go back to when you were born and post a picture of yourself.
That's what
at
the
that
2001
event.
So I could
picture
just
is,
post a status at 2007.
Right.
That's just like YOLO, dog. and then I can just tell everyone that I made this post in 2007 and I came up with YOLO.
Basically. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I came up with YOLO.
Okay.
Oh, I just noticed this. There's like a 2012 year in review thing on my Facebook
Yeah,
page.
you know what? I don't know what that is and I don't want to know what it is.
It's just, I think it's all it's showing me is basically like my most liked stuff from 2012, I think.
That sounds really dumb.
Which is kind of interesting.
I'm not a fan of that.
I mean, it's just like, oh, here, a lot of people like this post, so we're going to put it in your top whatever post of the year.
But that's what I hate about those like Facebook apps like that.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, all they do is they just go on your page and then they just collect some data and they just throw it up there. Like,
Right.
like all those people who post those stupid pictures
I
that are
hate
like
that.
your top 10 stalkers. No, it's just the top 10
Yeah.
people that have posted on your page in the last like
Right.
half a year.
Well,
like they're so dumb.
Yeah, well, this is actually built into Facebook, though. This thing
Oh,
right
is
here.
it?
Like, yeah, it's like part of the timeline that Facebook built.
Oh,
So it's not like,
I still am
it's not like obnoxious like those other ones.
I still think it's something that's silly.
But In general, I kind of regret the whole. I can't. I don't have anything to regret, but I'm sad that they actually made like an app ecosystem for Facebook because it's like I hate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate people using all this dumb.
How you get a notification
for
every
lack
5 minutes?
Of better word, dumb shit. Like I hate it.
I get all these notifications saying, "Hey, you got invited to play 21 questions." I'm just like, I'm deleting you as a friend because of this.
I've decided that on Friday,
Yeah.
next Friday,
Oh boy.
if we have this after hours event, I will be live streaming me deleting every friend that says anything about the end of the world.
Oh boy. That's gonna be awesome.
I will be
really
be deleting every single friend that you know what, they can make like a funny post about it that isn't like something I have seen 100 times.
Yeah.
If it's like an original funny post, you're safe.
Yeah.
If it is just like, oh, where's the end of the world, Mayans? Hey, boo boo, it's Yogi. You're getting deleted. So if you want me to delete you as a friend on Facebook, number one, why haven't you just deleted me, you lazy POS?
Yeah.
Number two, just post something really stupid about the 21st being the end of the world.
Can I just say something about the Mayans real quick?
Yeah.
They have this end of the world thing literally because they couldn't count, right?
No. Actually, after December 21st, 2012, it's supposed to be a time of peace.
Oh, I see.
That was the year they predicted that strife and war.
Well, they
would
sure
end.
got that wrong.
Fiscal cliff. Oh,
I mean,
that.
Yeah.
Fiscal cliff. I'm gonna Thelma and Louise that fiscal cliff so hard.
So it wasn't like, oh, end of the world. It was just like
It was like the end of the. Make a marker on this one. The end of the shitty world, and
peace times ahead.
and it's just like peace ahead. Yeah. So
Well, they sure got that wrong. Well, I see. What I heard was that
it looks like Lucas is getting deleted as a friend.
what I heard is that like the reason they thought this time was starting was because literally how the planets aligned or something, like because they counted their time by like astrological cycles.
The other
They
thing
actually
was
have a very, very, very accurate.
well, yeah, but they were
calendar,
still
but-
off by like, in terms of the way they started counting, they're still like the end of the world should have been like in July or something.
Well,
like
it's
that.
they didn't count leap years,
right.
So like,
So it should have been like a couple of years ago.
but they didn't need a leap. They didn't need the leap day to adjust like what our time. Because actually, from what I've heard, their time scale is actually a little bit closer than what ours is.
Right.
Like our modern one. That's why we need that extra day every year.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's whatever. We're not gonna die. It's I still think the Mayans were geniuses that they were able to pull this out. Like,
Oh, it's insane.
it surprises. Like it's amazing that they were able to do the things they did. But anyway,
Oh my god. No, never mind.
what's our next topic?
YOLO.
YOLO. Oh no.
Eric Schmidt says that Google Fiber is a real business and
It
plans to
is.
expand it. I am unbelievably excited about this because that means cheap gigabit Ethernet and then Charter. I'm gonna tweet rage on Charter the minute I have Google Fiber.
Oh, yeah.
I am gonna take a big steamy one on Charter when I have Google Fiber and then Charter George is this guy who's been in contact with me every time I complain about Charter
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Oh.
I am gonna direct message him a picture of a bumhole.
I think
You be ready for that,
No,
Charter
I think you
George.
should direct message him a picture of your speedtest.net once you have Google Fiber.
with Goatsy overlaid.
this is gonna be sad because I'm gonna be like the negative person on the podcast here and
What
be
else
like,
is new?
I think it's gonna be a lot more expensive than what it is in KC.
Well, obviously, I
don't know about that.
Google will make it competitive though. It'll be
They'll make it competitive.
competitively pricing,
Well, see, it's $70 for gigabit Ethernet,
which is
Yeah.
competitively priced.
No, it's dirt cheap for gigabit.
for
Or
gigabit.
for gigabit, yeah, for gigabit. Sorry,
For gigabit. I mean, I pay $30 for 30 megs.
Yeah,
but, like,
exactly.
Right.
But I would easily pay $70 for
Oh,
gigabit
No
yeah.
question.
Ethernet.
Yeah,
Like,
no question.
that would. I mean, think about like that's $70 a month, but all that less time spent waiting for things to download / upload.
right.
Like
And-
I feel like I would get
and
so many hours of my life back.
And Google probably
I
wouldn't
just-
throttle me as much as Charter does.
Yeah, that's true too.
I get throttled like a mug.
I don't know. Like, I don't have any issues with, because I've got 30 meg in my house also, and I don't know. Like, yeah, I wouldn't mind some faster internet, but I don't need that much faster internet because, like, I can stream just about anything I want right now.
I never have a problem streaming or anything.
Like,
but,
no, yeah, there's no problem.
like streaming and then like downloading something.
Yeah,
and
at
it's
the
just
same
like,
time.
see ya.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but maybe it's just because I'm the only person living in my house and I don't do a ton of that. But like,
Yeah.
like I was talking to Ryan about this before the show. Like, I'll delete because I have my Steam set up on my SSD, so I don't have a ton of space. So I only have 3-4 games installed at a time. But I can just delete a game and then download a new game in like an hour.
You're lucky.
Like, I don't know, maybe if I've just got a better part of the thing than you, but my internet, it always works good.
Me because I rage against them all the time.
They love me so far because I keep paying my bill. I don't know, but
Well,
yeah,
we've been paying our bill for the last 10 years.
I don't know. I can't believe that Google's gonna be able to do what they're doing in Kansas City because there's so much fiber they've got to lay out if they want to spread this out across the. And not to mention, you've got to work with all your local governments because they own where you send that fiber through. And
But then again, I think a lot of the local governments are going to want Google Fiber to come to their area because it's such a, like, in so many ways, like a business enabler type of
that's
deal.
true.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
like the fact that, I mean, it's not just us that can get gigabit internet. Like a business that
would use it a lot.
A lot would be able to get it for $70 a month. It's like
They'd probably be able to get it for cheaper.
Yeah, maybe.
Because they would be getting it on a larger scale. They would need like multiple ports set up.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might be a bit more, but I mean, relatively, like, even if you had a small business of 25 people and you had to pay, let's say it was 70. I'm going to do a little math. This is lame, but
let's even do this. Let's say that they
$70 a month times 25 people is $17.50 a month. I mean, which is a lot per person.
No, it's a lot.
But wait,
it's less than that.
They
That's not right.
They wouldn't need that.
They wouldn't split it per person.
It would just be
business
split
expense.
like 1 gigabit connection.
Yeah.
With more ports.
Yeah, it would just be a business expense.
So it'd probably be like.
It's $280 a person at $70 a month, which is dirt cheap. But they would probably need more than just that one line for.
Yeah,
but
even if you got like 3 lines.
But see, if you had 25 people, and they're just sitting there like doing some word processing and like minor internet usage, a gigabit is more than enough.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's more than enough for like 50 people.
Just for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just like such an enabling thing that once you have that fast internet, there, so many things are possible.
Like, all right, I will say I am very excited for it. I hope it comes here, but I just have I have very big doubts about it because it's a ton of money they'd have to sink to really spread this out. And not to mention, because of where we live, it probably wouldn't come to us until years down the line. That's like Fios hasn't even gotten around us yet. But that's just because
I don't
Verizon.
think Fios will ever get around.
No,
to
it won't because I think Verizon said,
Verizon's not going to.
Well, no, they're already now they're pushing just you getting a 4G hotspot instead of getting Fios because, well, there's more money in it for them.
Yeah, but I want hardline internet.
It's more reliable, in my opinion.
Oh, and actually,
I've been trying to get the charter. I've just been trying to like muck up my cable so the charter guy will come so I can make him run my Ethernet cord under my house. I don't want to crawl in my crawl space, so I just want him to have a reason to go down there, and so I can be like, hey, I got this 100-foot Ethernet cord. Could you run that, please?
Nah, did you guys also hear about Google was thinking about setting up... this is just a random story I heard, but about Google setting up wireless in certain areas.
That'd be cool.
Around this. Because isn't it in KC they have like free internet?
Yeah, essentially.
For
it's like
certain people.
5 meg service.
You get
5 megs free.
I think you pay the one-time installation
fee. Is it like the
fee.
$200 installation fee?
That's for...
No, that's for internet in general.
For 5 meg?
Yeah, I think for internet in general, whether it's the gig or the 5 meg, you have to pay a one-time setup fee.
Right.
But then once you pay that, you get free 5 meg service.
Which is like
like for free.
That's still
Old lady, perfect. For
I
an
mean,
old
that's
lady.
that's the equivalent of like data like speeds of 3G.
Yeah.
Like
It's
on a cell
better
carrier,
than-
and you're getting it for
Yeah.
free.
Oh yeah, it's better than that. It's
better than that.
It's in between like it's in
It's
between like
HSPA.
HSPA. Yeah, I would say it's less than HSPA in a good city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like HSPA around here, probably about 5 meg.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Continuing on, this is gonna be a real short episode.
We have a lot
you know
of
what?
beer to drink.
I really hate this.
This
Comcast
is the worst.
adopts the NBC Peacock as part of the new logo. It is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I have not even seen
It's
it.
more of a slight on NBC, if anything.
Yeah, it really is.
Associating that network, which despite what everyone says, like how it's like a failing network in this.
I
and that,
love NBC.
I think they are the best network out of the three. I watched the most shows on NBC out of any major
Yeah,
channel.
same here, same
by
here.
far. Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, The Office, SNL, the news. There's just like no other shows on
like,
other networks I want to watch.
It just
but-
doesn't. Okay, it makes sense because like Comcast and NBC merged.
right.
However, it doesn't make sense because it's not NBC.
Right.
It's Comcast. Like they're putting
Right.
it on the side of their service trucks.
Yeah.
NBC's not coming to service your house. It's Comcast. Keep the Comcast logo.
Yeah.
Think of like companies like Coke and Pepsi. Like you have no idea how many subsidiaries Coke has.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Like Orbit's gum and like Five Gum and like Mars and things like that. Like Coke owns
Yeah.
all those companies.
But you don't know
you don't see a Coca-Cola Classic logo on your Orbit gum.
Right.
Like just
And there's
get your hands out
There's
of there.
a reason for that. There's like well delineated lines of branding and a brand associate like
It's good for business too.
yeah.
Coke because I hate Comcast,
Yeah.
but I
hate
love NBC.
Yeah. See,
and
that's the thing.
Okay, I knew they
They're
merged.
trying to ride the coattails of
Right.
like that good like vibe you get from seeing the NBC Peacock logo.
Well, I don't because there's a big Comcast right underneath it.
Oh, and can we talk about the
The
font?
font? It's
which is
icky.
Like makes
It's
me
a
wanna
really.
barf.
It's just awkward.
The font is stupid because oh god, I don't even want to because I don't know the correct terms.
Well, it's basically. Yeah, I don't either. But basically, the letters
Nice
start
shit.
out in a rounded fashion and then end in like
in like a
straight
hard
cut off.
like 90-degree fashion.
Yeah,
Just look at our links or just look it up somewhere.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
it's really bad.
Seriously, whoever designed this, I want to actually know who designed this because I hope they lose their job. I hope they're a freelance artist and they never work again.
Right. I mean,
Because I could have done a better job.
what's hilarious about this is like I feel like so many companies lately have been coming out with terrible logo redesigns.
You know
Like-
who's a great logo redesign? Facebook.
What? They did it?
They went their like most recent, which was probably like 6 months ago, when they went with the matte F with two colors, just a light blue and a navy.
Yeah.
Wait.
Because it used to be that rounded.
Yeah.
It had a rounded like app icon feel to it.
like this? Like is that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's new.
That I like that.
I like that,
Chrome's
yeah.
Chrome's newest logo, like that.
It's good. It's flat and nice. But like I feel like all of these companies like Arby's and eBay
Yeah.
and there's a couple other that just like came out with these like terrible like logos lately. Like they look like they were designed by a 5-year-old.
Well, a lot of people are trying to adopt that style of font for some reason. Like, it's not just Comcast. Like, there are a lot of people using that font, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't get it. So basically, I feel like the same person who designed the new Comcast logo might have like
Might have been involved in all those.
Like they're all using this one terrible like design company.
And they're earning way more money than we ever will.
I need to go work there and then fire everybody.
I wish. Never mind. I'm not gonna get into that.
Icky.
So
Yeah.
I don't even get it. You know what? I don't understand. Okay. These people make a logo that probably lasts like at the least 3 to 5 years. At the very least 3 to 5 years. You look at Google. Okay, they come out with Jelly Bean and ICS in the same year.
Yeah.
Last year was Gingerbread. Year before that, Froyo.
Yep.
Year before that, Eclair. Oh, and I forgot Honeycomb.
Yep.
All those logos, except for Honeycomb, were great. Like they're staple logos for them. They come out with a new logo at least once a year, and they're like well-designed logos. And this design firm who literally like brands companies for a living can't make a good logo.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's pathetic.
It's hilarious and pathetic at the same time. Like and it actually speaks more to Google and how much design talent they actually have there.
Well,
and think about all the individual products.
Exactly. I was just about to say, on top of that, like all their products that they come out with every other year, every 3 years,
they have logos that fit the same color scheme, but they're all like way different. Like the Google Wallet logo and
their
Gmail
and their
Maps,
unique,
Google
but
Plus,
also like fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they make sense and they're unique. So when you see the Google Drive logo, you're like,
oh,
that's
the
Google
Drive logo is
I love
awesome.
that logo. And you see the Chrome logo, you're like, that's Chrome, but they have the same color scheme and they just work. Ugh, it's icky. I think we're gonna move on though.
Yeah.
This is kind of a cool story. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a really cool story.
I don't believe it.
Well, I'm going to talk about the rumor that I heard after I talk about this.
Okay.
Sony is coming out with some 2013, or they tipped some 2013 flagships, and my problem is they're saying it's going to be in Q4, which is way too far
That
away.
is
It is what
insane.
Sony does every year.
It's true. It's very true.
That's a real bummer.
This is why, like, I saw you two were kind of excited about this on Twitter, but I was just like, you know what's going to happen? They'll reveal it at CES, and then it'll come out. They'll be like, all right, it's coming out. And then it'll show up in, like, December.
October.
And they'll be like, this is awesome. And then there will be, like, Samsung and HTC flagship phones that'll be just as good, if not better than it out already.
And even if it shows up with 4.2, it's probably still going to be behind because 5.0 will be on.
It'll show up with 4.2 in Q4 of 2013. Yes.
5.0. Yeah, 5.0 will be out in August.
At the latest.
They already hinted at key lime pie.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. It's 5-inch 1080p screen, A15 quad core processor, which is a great chip.
I hope they make one that's not 5. I don't want a 5-inch phone. Can I say that? Is that allowable to say?
They are talking. I mean, there is 4 different phones.
Good.
So you're probably
because like
at
what
sizes.
What's the Galaxy Nexus?
You know what? They actually have. It's called the Xperia 4. They have the Xperia 4
Is
and
that
the
a 4-inch?
Xperia 5R. I would assume the 4 is probably like a 4.7 inch or 4.5 inch.
4.5.
4.7 is not bad.
Is this 4.5? You think
It's 4.65.
4.65, yeah.
4.65. So I could deal with 4.7.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
But it's got a quad core A15, which is a great chip. 3 gigs of RAM, which is pretty intense.
That's
intense. 3,000 milliamp battery, which is super intense.
That's the 6 though, right? That's what they're the Xperia 6 or whatever.
They haven't really. This is all just like
speculation.
Yeah, speculation. And a 16 meg camera,
which is dope.
And Sony's Xperia screen tech is actually really nice, but they just don't make the phones, and people don't want to buy them. That's a problem. But their screen tech is really good.
Because they just released a phone they talked about at this last year's CES. And they released it in the fall. And they're just like, hey, check out this awesome phone. It's now mid-range.
Yeah. And the rumor that I heard, which Lucas doesn't, I think that's what he's talking about, doesn't believe it to be true,
believe it.
Is Sony is talking about putting stock Android on their phones.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be so slick.
But Sony doesn't have a good UI.
So? Do you see what all these manufacturers do? A lot of them don't have a great UI.
Let's see. TouchWiz updated and made their UI bearable.
Bearable.
But I've actually heard. You're using TouchWiz
I don't
right
mind
now?
TouchWiz,
Exactly. HTC Sense 4 Plus. I use it on the DNA. Amazing. I hated Sense 3. I hated Sense 3.5. Sense 4 was tolerable. Sense 4 Plus, it just takes all the crap that I had that I hated about Sense 4, and they're like, we know you don't like this. We're gonna fix it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Like the only two contenders that are doing it just completely wrong are LG and Sony now.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung has finally listened to the people. HTC listened to the people when Sense 4 came out, but it wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
but they were making steps in the right direction. But Sony and LG they're just blind to everything that's happening.
And I think Sony's going to stay blind, though, because they're going to try and go with what they have. Because they have name recognition right now with, like, PS3, Vita. I'm afraid they're going to try and tie a lot of those design cues into it, because then they can have someone, hey, this is your PlayStation phone. Like what they tried with Verizon and failed miserably.
And guess what?
No.
The Xperia Play tanked.
I have no hope in Sony. None.
I want Sony hardware, but I want stock Android. And if this thing isn't stock Android, first of all, even if it is, it will be out not till later next year.
Yes.
But if it's not stock Android, I'm completely uninterested. I don't care.
Right.
Like,
It's kind of like the Galaxy Nexus, the one that you have right now, because when that phone came out, it was
actually the
top of the line, but the hardware was kind of
pretty
kind of. Yeah, but
it was pretty good for the time, but it had stock Android on it.
Exactly.
It had a great user experience.
I will say though, I'm one of those people that doesn't need like a phone to be a beast.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Like I don't play games on my phone. I don't
either,
do anything intensive on my phone. I just need it to be a really solid phone.
Yeah.
Like I can get all my stuff done on it. Like,
but at the same time, with every update of Android, they add in more little things and tweaks and features, and they take up a lot of.
And
they need more RAM.
And you're going to be the
more
first to get it all the
processing.
time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's
Android,
and that's
you're running a Google device.
And I kind of made a commitment that I wouldn't buy a phone that's not part of the Nexus program.
Yeah.
Ever
Which
again.
is like really smart of you.
But at the same time, I feel like I'm going to be tempted by some of these, like a Sony or something. If somebody comes along and actually makes like a
stock
amazing phone with stock Android on it, I might
you know
be
what though?
tempted.
I would just like to see the Nexus program actually launch, because they haven't launched yet.
With all of the
they just
manufacturers.
like the Nexus program. I still feel like it is just like they're still testing the waters with it.
Yeah,
because they're still only releasing one device.
Yeah.
Well, they have like the 10 and the 7, but it's like in terms of like your phone, they've been talking about this for how long now? Like we're gonna have more manufacturers on here. You know the manufacturers are.
It's been
down.
rumored.
Like, let me put it this way.
Schmidt has like come out and said.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think the manufacturers are really down, because a lot of them want their touch on there because they want you to look at and think,
It's like,
this is an HTC
but
phone.
why wouldn't you? These phones sell crazy.
No, they don't. That's the thing. They don't sell like crazy because Google won't advertise the Nexus program. The Nexus program is almost like Microsoft's Surface program.
But Google doesn't have the platform to advertise it. Because they're creating their own. Besides the newest phone, which has gotten great reception, Samsung didn't say anything about their phones.
But that's the thing, is that why would they? Because you pick up that phone, you're not going to realize it's a Samsung phone unless.
What is your phone called?
Samsung Galaxy Nexus.
Exactly.
No, but okay.
It's
a
called the
Galaxy Nexus.
Yeah.
You pick up this phone.
When you hear Galaxy, what do you think?
Galaxy S3.
Samsung.
I think Samsung. Yeah.
What happened when you, like, let's say HTC made a black slab that just had HTC on the back of it. It's called the Nexus 1X.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from, but when Joe Blow across the street picks up that phone and just goes, hey, it's got Android on it. He doesn't fucking know what, mark that. He doesn't know what TouchWiz is. He doesn't know what Sense is. They don't know
Most
what that
people
stuff
don't
is.
know.
That's not what it's about,
get
though.
the phone because it's an Android phone and CNET said to buy it.
Yeah.
But that's things they're gonna pick that up. They're gonna use it, and they're gonna get used to it. They're gonna get used to a TouchWiz. They're gonna get used to that.
But
And they're gonna be tied into a manufacturer because that's what they're with.
Okay, but when Samsung creates a new Galaxy, they create the Galaxy 5, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung Galaxy Nexus 5, whatever you're gonna call it, and they advertise it, and Samsung says, "Hey, we made this phone. You should buy it." And then CNET goes, "Yeah, this is a great phone." And that guy reads that review and goes, "Well, I have a Samsung phone. This is a Samsung phone. It got a good review. I'll buy it." Then the Nexus program will launch because they'll go, "Wow, this doesn't have the annoyances that I had with whatever kind of Android." They would, and this is exactly what they say.
Yeah.
Whatever Android my old Galaxy was running is junk compared to this.
Oh, not another droid. I don't need another droid.
Oh God.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's
No. And see, here's my fantasy phone market of the future, where it's like if I go to buy a Windows 8 laptop, I know what I'm getting on any laptop I get, and I want to be able to have that with a phone where the OS isn't the question anymore, and it's not like a factor I have to think about in a purchase decision. It's just like I'm getting a phone with Android on it, and that's it. Like I don't want to have to be in this world where if I go over to this phone, I know it's going to have some funky crap thrown on top of it.
Well, let's talk about what happened with the entire, this is with Windows 7 even. And this, because with Windows, they do the pure, most laptops, they might have a little bit of bloatware on them.
Manufacturers bloatware,
but
it's still generally Windows 7. But the thing is, 90% of the people, the way I feel is 90% of the people going out and buying a PC, they don't care about
they don't care at all.
They don't care. So they go and they buy the cheapest one, and look what has happened to HP, to Dell, to Acer. It's killed them because they got into this fight where they just trying to make the cheapest platform because in general, people just don't care.
I hate all of you. I hate people. They're the worst people in the world.
And this is exactly the reason why I don't think that it would work on a grand scale. Because if you create it to where that there is no differentiation on both hardware and software, we're already getting to that point where you pick up a phone and you're just like, oh, hey, here's a big screen on a small phone thing, and it has a battery in the back.
Oh, that kills me. Ugh.
A phone's a phone.
No.
I agree with you. I would love to have stock Android on every device.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
I guess I want to live in a world where I want to be able to pick a phone on its merits of does it have a good camera? Is it a speedy phone? And not even have to bring into the conversation does this have TouchWiz on it?
Is TouchWiz still junk?
Because I'll put it this way, I can't. If I'm restricting myself to only stock Android devices, which I am, and I will refuse to buy one that's not, I'm generally getting something like my Galaxy Nexus that has a really shitty camera on it, and it sucks. Because I want a HTC One X for its camera. I want
for the screen,
an S3 for its camera,
and
its screen, and same with that One X. The screen is great, but they don't even come into my pure view because I immediately rolled them out, and I made that choice that I don't want it.
You got to jump to the world of rooting and rounding.
No. I did that. I did that on my Droid 3 because I literally was in a very special kind of hell with that phone when I bought it because it had the worst skin on it in the world, and I wasn't happy with it.
Welcome to Moto Blur.
I wasn't happy with it. I was literally unhappy with that phone for a whole month, and it wasn't because of the phone. I had no qualms with the phone hardware itself. Everything was great about it. What I hated about it was the software, and I hated it until I put stock Android on it. And I just rooted it. I think I put 2.3 on it at first, and then finally I got some random ICS thing that I threw on there, and I was totally happy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go through that just to get my phone the way it was.
I understand.
I'm perfectly capable of doing it, and I could go get CyanogenMod 10 right now and have
just.
Oh, my mom's calling me. That's interesting. But I don't want to go through all that trouble just to get the phone I went. By the way, I don't like CyanogenMod just because it gives. Not that it's bad. It's just I have too many options with it.
See, I don't like CyanogenMod because at times it is aesthetically not pleasing.
Oh, really? Are the latest ones?
No, it's just all of them. It is too, like, it's that really bad, like, futuristic feel where everything is just, like, bright blue, like, in your face blue. Actually, you know what? I'll bring up an example right now.
Oh, okay.
like that is not pleasing to me.
No, that's not right.
No, it's just too bright and it's too blue.
It's not subtle enough.
Yeah.
And you know, but I'm like, back when it was like 2.3 days, throwing CyanogenMod on there was great because I got rid of the crap, and it was like, it felt like normal Android was supposed to feel. But now, if I were to get 10 now, it would just put so many more settings in my settings tray than I want to even deal with.
I like that.
I don't like, see, I like to customize my phone a lot, but I don't need more than I need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Like,
yeah.
if there was that killer thing that I was like, oh, I can't switch this right now, I got to have this, I would switch to CyanogenMod 10. But there's no one killer feature about CyanogenMod that makes me want it that bad.
Right. I just like having all the settings because, like, usually if I update my ROM, I like to sit down for like maybe 15 to 20 minutes and just go through my settings and just click it. Just like, what does this do? I'm going to just try it and just see what happens. And it really, I usually come out with something I'm really pleased with. And then, like always, like, CyanogenMod has an amazing, like, backup feature, and I just back up my settings, and then the next time I update my ROM, I can restore them and then just check out the extra, like, 2 settings that they maybe added.
Yeah.
The 2 new things that they added, and I can just go, spend 2 minutes and just go, oh, no, I don't want that, or yeah, I want that.
I guess I left that way of life behind me long ago, and I just don't want to revisit it.
I honestly did too.
I don't want to. Yeah, I just have no desire to ROM my phone or get it to the way I want it to be.
I like to be my phone's dominatrix.
Yeah. Oh man, that's this.
There's
this
no safe word between the two of us. Unless it bricks.
I just honestly don't like. I don't know. I'm. This is sad, but I am happy enough with my phone right now to where I just haven't wanted to.
I would be happy with your phone too, but.
Sad days.
I think we're finished with our topics for the week.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a quick break.
And then we're gonna be back with our super beer extravaganza.
Hit you with a little music, and then we got Beer of the Year is here for rear. I didn't rhyme. Time for what we've all been waiting for, the Beer of the Year.
Beer of the Year. Beer of the Year. It's here. It's here. Beer of the Year, my dear, my dear.
Oh,
how many beers of the year are there here? Well, many beers of the year, my dear.
Well, 6.
Well, 6.
5.
One beer to rule them all, and one beer to bind them.
Oh,
God dang it.
So we were going to start with the first round of our bracket, which was Jawjacker versus the Tumbler. However, we ran into some slight complications.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell the Jawjacker anymore.
Yeah, it went out of season pretty quickly.
So the Tumbler wins by default. But we actually decided last week, kind of in an off conversation, that we probably would have picked the Tumbler anyways.
Yeah. That's true.
So... just because we were kind of talking because the Tumbler is more appropriate as a seasonal beer than the Jawjacker was. Jawjacker is very specific to like Halloween time, while the Tumbler is a more appropriate fall beer. So we'll just jump right into round 2, which is Fat Tire versus the Orange Cream Ale. Fat Tire is made by New Belgium Brewing Company, correct? New Belgium?
Yes, New Belgium.
And the Orange Blossom Cream Ale is by Buffalo Bills Brewery.
Buffalo Bills Brewery.
So, Ryan, why don't you take a sip of...
I'll try the Fat Tire first? Or?
Yeah, go ahead. We're going to have to... I'll just start with the Orange Blossom, I guess.
Okay. So I just tried the Fat Tire. Lucas is about to try the Fat Tire.
Yeah,
that's good.
Which we know what this tastes like. I'm sure.
I actually had the Fat Tire on tap, and I wasn't too impressed because I was up in Traverse City last weekend,
Okay.
and it made me sad.
Huh. That's so good.
That is really tasty.
Yeah, it's actually a lot better on just out of a bottle.
Yeah, I agree. Fat Tire out of a bottle is pretty solid.
It's quality. It is quality. Which I should mention here. I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. I brought New Belgium Shift, which is just a generic pale ale. That's a pretty good one by New Belgium.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I had that last night.
So everyone's gotten their taste of the first round picks. What are we going with?
Oh, boy. This one's tough. I'm kind of split.
All right, well, I'll go first then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Orange Blossom just because it's a little bit more unique, I guess. It's got that really citrusy flavor. It's almost like an orange peel flavor to it, not necessarily just a straight orange flavor.
See, I think it has an orange cream, like almost an orange creamsicle.
Like
It's like an orange beersicle.
It tastes almost a little bit like cream soda at the very beginning. Yeah, I might need one more taste just to know.
Sure.
Ryan's taking my position this week as the person who.
I'm also going to take one more taste quick.
Fat Tire, very good as always. It's kind of become one of my go-to beers.
It's definitely a solid, like, I'm picking up a 6-pack. I got $10. I'm going to get the Fat Tire.
Man, Orange Blossom's really good though. For the same reason, for uniqueness, I think I have to give the edge to Orange Blossom. Yeah, so that's my pick.
I also agree, but for a slightly different reason. Well, I'll go ahead and say what I want to say. I've had the Fat Tire so many times that it's just like it's kind of gone stale to me. And like the Orange Blossom is something besides, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, last week? No, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, yep.
That was like the first time I had the orange cream ale.
Yeah.
Like I bought that beer completely on a whim, like, hey, this might be good. When I bought the Fat Tire, I was like, I know this is a good beer. I hope it does well.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't say on its uniqueness in the same aspect as you guys said uniqueness, but it's more it's something fresh for me. Like the Fat Tire has just gotten stale for me. So
it's one of my Fat Tire has become one of my go-to, like, I'm going to a party, so I pick up like a tall boy of Fat Tire just because it's easy to take along.
Right.
But it's not necessarily like, and it's a good beer, but it's not necessarily like one of those like higher echelon sent from the gods type of thing. I guess it's like become one of your everyday beers that you can just drink, and it's good.
Quick side note here: I was typing in the fourth round battle. Between the Tumbler and the orange cream ale, and every time I type in Tumbler, I catch myself spelling it TUMBLR. Welcome to TechBuzzed, everybody. So we're gonna get on to the third round, the legendary round.
So,
wait. Oh yeah. Wow.
We bring out
already.
Well, because the first round was
like a default.
Yes. So this is the Legends round where we pit up the two Hall of Fame.
My two beers that are in the thing.
And I have 3 in. No, I only have 2.
It's all about the rings, baby.
No, I do have 3. I have 3 in the bout. I have statistically a better chance of winning.
You do, but I have 2 beers that have won week after week after week.
Blow me. All right. So,
I don't pick good beers often.
So that did we say
I think I'm peeking a bit.
Oh, you're peeking?
Yeah, I think so. It kind of sounds like it. It might be my headphones, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to pit up the Lion Stout, the beloved Lion Stout, against the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter, which didn't get as much love.
I don't know. I am a huge fan of the Snowdrift also.
Snowdrift wasn't in as many weeks as the Lion Stout.
Because we just ran out of weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's pit them up against each other.
Yeah.
Lucas, why don't you take that?
Actually, if I remember right, didn't
take that
the Snowdrift lose to the Lion Stout at one point? Just by default, we kept it as the beer of the week because it was the very last week there. It was the last week of the Lion Stout.
Okay, that's true. But then you're right. But then the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter like went on a tear.
Oh man. Wow, that's good. Snowdrift is still so good.
See, but now I'm having second guesses on whether I like the Snowdrift or the Lion Stout, because I actually am trying to think about why we chose the Lion Stout over the Snowdrift.
I know
Porter.
exactly why we chose the Lion Stout.
I think I remember why. So yeah, to look back, we did choose this. This beat the Vanilla Porter
originally, but it was because we didn't want the Lion Stout just becoming beer of the year because it wasn't going to lose.
Reigning champion forever.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember why I loved Lion Stout. It's actually I feel like it's gotten better since the last time I had it. Maybe I'm the only one that says that, but I really like that Lion Stout.
It's so good.
Well, Luke, why don't you take the reins then?
Well, I'm going to say I'm voting for Lion Stout because it has a little bit of a... I could be crazy for saying this. Almost like a... Not sugary, but like a mapley
It's
hint to it there in the end.
It's
I don't know how to
probably
explain it
sugar.
very
It's
well.
probably sugar. Kind of like most stouts. You
Want
kind
to
of
hand
have
it back
that.
to me, actually?
Yeah, the Lion Stout.
Yeah.
Kind of has that like sort of bourbon taste to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
So we got one for Lion Stout.
Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely for the Lion Stout.
Snowdrift Vanilla Porter still kind of tastes like
Beer candy.
beer candy, like you're drinking like
Ice cream.
lightly smoked ice cream.
I like that. I lightly smoked
Yeah.
ice cream. I'm gonna take a drink and I'm going to agree with you.
It's really good because they have the Snowdrift like everywhere on tap right now. And it's really good on tap too because it's cold and then it really does taste like your smoked ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, you are correct. The Snowdrift Vanilla Porter, if you like it and you have the opportunity to drink it on tap, do it because
Yeah.
it is bar none better on tap than it is in
Yeah.
the bottle.
Way
Which
good.
is in most cases, besides like we were saying earlier,
Fat
the Fat
Tire.
Tire. Like in most cases, most beers are better on tap, anyways.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I have
usually.
I got in an argument with someone I know. They were like, no beer on tap is better than in the bottle.
That's
and I was
BS.
like, you smoke crack rocks.
That's BS. And I will say it depends. Like there's certain
See,
beers
I think
that
there are
come,
very few. There's a select few beers that are like better in the bottle.
I would say there's beers that I've had that I would just much prefer from the bottle than the tap usually.
I don't think there's that many for me.
I think it's on a case by case basis, but like I think the lighter, well, it all depends. Like for some reason, Fat Tire on tap is I've had it multiple times. It's just not as good
Yeah.
as out of the bottle, and I don't get why. But for most other beers, I'll agree. It on tap is better.
I'm kind of weird about Two Hearted too. I've had
Two
Two
Hearted?
Hearted on tap,
Yeah.
and I almost like the bottles better.
really.
I don't know. I think that's more just because I've drank it so many times out of the bottle and like twice on the tap that I'm just like used to it.
Yeah, I'm pretty indifferent about Two Hearted. I think it's. I mean, in terms of like tap versus beer, like
Bottle,
beer
yeah.
bottle, I think it's pretty even. So this is really tough for me because it's
Well,
like
how about I make my pick and make it
Yeah,
harder
you-
for you
you-
because I'm gonna choose the Snowdrift.
Ooh.
this is even tougher now.
Because you were deciding.
I'm the deciding vote. I'm gonna take one more sip and then I'm not sipping anymore. I vow that I'll sip no longer and I'll make my choice.
That's tough.
So Snowdrift.
My thing is, the
That's a
thing I
big
liked
pickle.
about the Lion Stout also is that, like you said, that bourbon barrel or like
Yeah.
that barrel flavor to it makes it a little bit smoother at the end.
I'm choosing the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter because I'm really tired of the Lion Stout winning.
Aww.
They're both. That's the thing, though, is they're both amazing beers, and I would be stuck like making a
Yeah.
decision. But I'm picking it solely on the fact that like I like them almost equally, and I just really,
Yeah.
I'm really tired of the Lion
It's-
Stout winning.
It's tough because Lion Stout, like we mentioned in our past podcast, it's a good sipping beer. Like you would crack one of those.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't pick up a 6-pack of that and just drink it all in one
Oh,
night. You would
God,
just
no.
like kind of
No.
have one and sit
Right.
back and chill and sip it back.
I could pound back the Snowdrift Vanilla.
Oh
Porters.
yeah, see that? Yeah, so they're two different. Like they're different that way.
But I wouldn't because it's too expensive for me to pound.
I think it would be kind of painful to pound though too, because it's still a pretty heavy beer.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to down it that fast.
I had to chug one the other night, and it was painful. That's why I say that.
Yeah, but chugging anything for you is painful. No sexual pun intended.
Do we want to have a shotgun off right now?
No, we're not doing
You can
that.
shotgun for the best of them, but when it comes to chugging anything, your gag reflex,
Yeah,
again, no
okay.
sexual pun
That's
intended,
true.
kicks in.
See, I'm trying to think
Sorry.
if it's like from a beer connoisseur point of view, like, you know, somebody that goes to like a ton of, I'm not saying myself, but for a person that would go to
Ryan the beer snob.
to a ton of beer tastings, they would probably be like, oh, like the Lion Stout is more like full-bodied and interesting and a lot more going on. Leinenkugels, however, I think is more, it would reach a broader base of people that would like it.
Well,
Yeah,
not
I
only
mean,
that, because of the name, too.
That too, it's a Leinenkugels, but like I think that the Lion Stout kind of drifts more towards that end of like
Right.
the Black County,
And that
is that what it was called?
No, Bourbon County.
Bourbon County Stout,
County.
which is
Well,
arguably the best beer I've ever had.
That is, I would agree. That is actually like the whole business of Leinenkugel, though. Is they want average Joe to go, I'm drinking fancy beer.
Yeah,
Like, and it tastes good, but it's also like not Busch Light.
right, exactly.
No offense to Busch Light, because I love you.
So,
I do too.
oh god, I'm not gonna start. Let me. I'm gonna pick the Lion Stout.
All right.
Yeah, that was
Lion
tough.
Stout,
I was
just-
very back and forth on that.
It's still here.
It's still here.
It's like your old grandpa that has a lot of
I
money
guess
and never is gonna die.
I guess it's one of those things where I don't feel any shame in like calling the Lion Stout
Right.
beer of the year. I would say if it were to become beer of the year, like I would be very proud that it's a beer of the year because it's that good.
I'm really disappointed one of my beers lost.
Oh,
By another one.
One of my beers lost too,
Yeah.
but I still got two in the race.
Okay. So now where are we at?
We are at Orange Cream Ale versus the Tumbler.
Oh boy.
So
Here we
why don't you
go.
guys take a sip of that while I edit this little show notes quick.
Sure. So I'm about to try.
Want to pass me the
Tumbler.
orange cream ale?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, of course.
Good stuff.
I think this is going to be the toughest decision we make all day.
This is pretty close.
I think this is going to be the toughest decision we make all day. Let's get these out of here.
Yeah, move those over. Those are
Keep that one out.
yeah. Those are really
I disagree
Oh,
because
you are very like
I'm very decisive tonight.
decisive. Yeah, this is a first,
It
TechBuzzed
is.
listeners. Lucas
It
has
is a
made a
first.
decision.
I'm gonna go with the orange cream sickle or whatever.
Cream ale.
it's
the
called.
orange
Cream ale.
creamsicle.
This isn't Cracker Barrel.
I'm sorry, but maybe I've just grown away from brown ales, but it was decent, but it's not something that I'm a huge fan of. I really like that orange cream ale is really good. Even though for some reason this time I felt like I was eating like, those orange vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit like that, but I eat those like none other because they're delicious.
I remember the other day when I had an orange cream ale, and it was before I had drank anything that day. So it was like the first like beer I had, and like hitting my palate like right away. I was just like, whoa, orange.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Yeah, it's
like not like
find
bad
it.
though.
I find it more. I don't know why. I find it more overpowering today than it was 2 weeks ago.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
That's the sense I got. I was just like, whoa, I
Yeah.
don't remember this being this orange. But the first time we tried it, I'd already had a few other beers, so I felt like the mix of stuff in my mouth was like
That could be
it was toning
But,
down
like,
the orange.
But
of
like
it.
even then, like I haven't had it since 2 weeks ago,
True, yeah,
and it's about the same. It was about the same time of day. I probably had the same amount of alcohol in me,
yeah.
and I feel like for some reason that orange is so much more prevalent in the sip I just took than it was in this first
Yeah.
sip I had of the beer.
Yeah.
I think that's what really makes it stand out to me too, is how I'm trying to think of a good word because it's just obnoxious. The oranges.
Overpowering.
Yeah, like
prevalent.
Like not in a negative way though.
So
like I really like the
prevalent.
orange. Yeah, like it prevalent. I guess I'd call it. Like the orange.
You'd call it. I'm just giving you crap because you're gonna beat me this week.
Nah, it's a good beer. I really like that orange. I don't know. I like oranges.
All right, so is that your pick?
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. The orange.
Man, I'm gonna have to go against you guys because I kind of like the Tumbler more. I think the Tumbler is probably one of the best brown ales I've ever had.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I've grown away from brown ales, like I said earlier.
All right, so we are on to the fifth and final round.
And you couldn't get more like kind of crazy opposite beers in the final round.
We have, if you haven't been following, which there's something wrong with you if you haven't, we have the Lion Stout versus the Orange Cream Ale.
And yeah, the Lion Stout is like a stout, obviously. And the Orange Cream Ale.
This is just like your generic cream ale.
It tastes
pretty
like
light.
Cream ale.
Light and fluffy.
All right, so anybody want to hit that?
I'll hit it.
Here we go. Beer of the year, my dear, my dear. And what a decision we have. Okay. Wow. This is still a tough choice for me.
It is.
I'm really thinking hard now. So, on the one hand, we have the Lion Ale. Not Lion Ale. Lion Stout. From Sri Lanka. Kind of a beast of a beer.
I think like the Lion Stout is the closest thing you're going to get to Bourbon County.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And for I guess it you need like a slightly mature palate, or like you need to have been drinking beer for a while to appreciate a thing like Bourbon County.
That's for sure.
And I think that holds the same for Lion Stout. I don't think you could give this to like
A new beer
drinker and expect them to like it at all.
Well, it's just too much. Like it would, like all stouts are kind of like that though.
Right. On the other hand, I think the Orange Blossom Cream Ale is like very accessible, like from even to somebody who's just starting into the beer drinking process, learning what they like. So this is tough.
Let me try that Orange Blossom Ale again.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna have, what I'm voting for, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lion Stout. I don't know. I'm a big fan of it. I like the aftertaste of it a little bit better, and
Well, I'm going to make this decision tough on you again because I'm going to go with the Orange Cream Ale because, like you said, you actually brought up a really good point, and I was going to go with the Lion Stout until you brought up that point. Sure, we are here to make our own, picks and decisions.
Yeah.
But the Orange Cream Ale is just so much more accessible. And it's one of those beers that you don't have to be in the mood for. Like the Lion Stout is something you have to be in the mood for.
Right.
You gotta want a stout.
And to this, what do you think would happen with like the Snowdrift up against the Cream Ale? Because I feel like these are such different beers.
Okay.
It's making it kind of difficult.
This is what I would say against the Snowdrift and the Cream Ale. The Snowdrift is a seasonal beer. Cream Ale is not.
It's like year round.
Cream Ale is definitely a year-round beer. So I would go with the Cream Ale against the Snowdrift because you can pick this up 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
That you can pick up like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not sure if Lion Stout is seasonal or not either.
It's not.
It's not. It's
year round as well. So I guess it's kind of the things like, TechBuzzed Beer of the Year. Like, our friends and stuff will be like, oh, cool, what was it? And if we say like Orange Blossom, and if our, whoever it happens to be, like, we'll be like, oh, okay. Like, but if we say Lion Stout and they go get it and try it, they'll just be like, what were you guys smoking? Like,
yeah, but then we'll also
like if they don't have like that advanced, like,
they don't have the palate for it. Yeah.
For it yet. Like, it's kind of tough. So I guess it's like this kind of deciding moment, like what kind of podcast do we want to be recommending beers for? Like, is it for like the everyman, like where regardless of like what stage in the beer trying process you're at, you're gonna like this beer, or is this for like the beer connoisseur that's really like into it, like that knows?
Well, I think it's for both.
For both, and see, that's the trouble I have in like making this decision. So I am actually going to say that the Orange Blossom Ale is very respectable, and I think it's a very noting that it comes in second place this year.
It's still like
very notable for it. But
I think all of our beers we had here were
they're all really good.
All the ones that were in the running,
But I'm gonna give the vote to Lion Stout.
All right.
Based on like what I like. Basically, like, I think the cream ale isn't a good enough spot. Like, it's second place is awesome for it. Like, that beer deserves that. But in terms of like my taste and like appreciation of the Lion Stout, it's like the closest thing I've had to the Bourbon County Ale, and it's really cheap.
It is. It is really cheap.
Like, compared to it. So like you're getting like a really good beer for a very good price. So and like very complex and nice stout. So my vote is for the Lion Stout, and I guess that makes the Lion Stout the beer.
The beer of the year. Lucas Ritter, get your gloat on.
So
just thank you, people, so we can wrap this up.
I came in here with only 2 beers because I just had the beers that dominated every week. And Nick was giving me crap because he's just like, I've got 3 beers here, or 4 beers, or whatever the hell he had. And you know what I say to that? Look at the ring, baby. Now that I've got beer of the year, feels pretty good. I'm going to take a break. I probably won't have any good beers for a while because I'm a terrible beer picker. And to be honest, these 2 I found them just out of pure luck.
I thought like they were both recommendations.
No, the Lion Stout I found, and then the other one was a recommendation, yes. But no, it's I'm very proud of my beers. I would have voted for either of them. And yeah.
I declare cheating. One of his beers was picked by someone else.
I disclosed this. I said.
Hey, I don't think that matters.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey. Nick's just jealous that my beer keeps winning.
I'm just joking. Congratulations, Lucas.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good
Let's
pick.
shake hands.
Very good pick.
Handshaking noise. Handshaking noise.
Handshake.
What a great year in beer.
Yeah, good year for beer.
What a great 6 weeks.
Here for the 6 weeks of beer. One quick thing before we close out. Next week,
could be chaos.
We may or may not be doing a very special after hours live stream. We will not have a podcast. However, we may be doing a very special live stream in a different location.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And this is a week from Friday, so it'll be the 21st, which means the end of the year. I am coining it as YOLO Fest. You can call it whatever you want.
I don't want to call it YOLO Fest.
The TechBuzzed YOLO Fest After Hours End of the Year Special Extravaganza
with Lion Stout.
With a whole lot of, we're gonna
sponsored by Lion Stout.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that sponsorship. But
it's either that or sponsored by the Samsung Galaxy Note 15.
Correct. TechBuzzed YOLO Fest After Hours YOLO Fest Year End Extravaganza End of the Year Party. We will keep you updated on Facebook, Twitter. That's it. Just Facebook and Twitter. Maybe we can make a little special video if we're gonna do it. Just a little like pre-show, like, hey, this is gonna happen. It's going down. Check, here are the times.
It'll be me and Nick taking shots because Ryan will be at a Christmas party.
Well, no. I'm saying like on Wednesday or something. Like Wednesday like a Wednesday. We're gonna put a video on YouTube.
So can it still be us taking shots?
Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, keep a lookout for that. That's gonna happen, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think people are gonna have a lot of fun like watching it. It's not gonna be a thing where you're just gonna like sit down and watch.
No.
Yeah.
Like it'll be something you maybe like come back to,
Yeah.
or you just like pop in and out every little bit, because
It's gonna be a marathon probably.
we're gonna be doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a lot
It's
of
going to
stuff.
be a grand experiment.
But
yeah.
other than that, check out the after hours for this week. We're about to record or live stream it, and obviously record it at the same time. But we're going to finish it out. Congratulations to the Lion Stout for winning Beer of the Year. Congratulations to Lucas for picking the Lion Stout.
Yay.
You can find me on Twitter at Nick_Smock.
You can find me, Ryan Spletzer, on Twitter at Ryan Spletzer.
Yeah, you could find me on Twitter. I'm Lucas Ritter, and it's at Depresso is cool. I don't recommend you following me, though.
And if you're looking for TechBuzzed, find our MP3, the MP3 version of our podcast at techbuzzed.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. Find us on Twitter at TechBuzzed. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TechBuzzed. Find us. Email
Email
questions.
us.
Have we even looked at our email in the
I
last
haven't
2
looked
weeks?
lately.
I haven't looked in the last week. We could have had a question, and if we do, we're going to answer it in after hours.
Right.
But email us at techbuzzedpodcast@gmail.com, and to watch our after hours live stream specials and to listen to our podcast if you're just a YouTube subscriber, check out youtube.com/techbuzzedpodcast. That's all we have for you this week, folks. We hope to see you next week at our live stream extravaganza where you can live chat with us, TechBuzzed, and friends. See you guys later.